All right, we're going to go over a few problems from this review sheet to help you out. So let's look at number 1. So we're sketching a graph of this inequality. So the y-intercept is 2. I'm going to put a point at 0, 2. The slope is -2, so I'm going to go down 2 into the right one, down 2 into the right one. To reverse that, I'm going to go up 2 into the left one. I want a solid line because it's less than or equal to. Then I'm going to test a point. I can test 0, 0 because it's not on the line. So when I test 0, 0 makes it true. So I'm going to shade towards 0, 0. All right. Let's also take a look at number 5. So for number 5, you're going to solve this inequality just like you normally would on equation. So I'm going to combine like terms, and I have -2n is greater than 2. I'm going to divide both sides by -2. Remember, when you're dividing by a negative, that flips this negative to a positive. That flips this positive to a negative. So we also have to flip the inequality. So this is going to become n is less than -1. Let's test a point. We can test 0 because it's not the boundary point. 0 is greater than 2. That's false. So we want the arrow to point away from 0. We're going to make an open circle at -1 because it's only less than. And then because 0 made it false, we want the arrow to point away. So if you forgot to flip the inequality when you tested the point, you should have realized, oh, it's not greater than, it's less than. All right, let's look at another one. Let's jump down to number 15, solving absolute value equations. So this is a review from what we've done a little bit ago. I'm going to solve this. I want to get the absolute value by itself. So I'm going to work in to undo the steps. So I'm going to undo the -7 by adding 7. All right, and so now I have equals 50, almost absolute value by itself. It's being multiplied by 10. So I'm going to divide both sides by 10. And I get the absolute value of 5 plus 6m equals 5. Now, once I have the absolute value isolated, I'm going to separate this into 2 inequalities. Because remember, you can think of this as what has an absolute value of 5, 5, or -5. If there were negatives here, I'm not going to change them at all. Whatever is under the absolute, whatever's inside there, that 5 plus 6m, it can either equal 5 or it can equal -5. So I'm going to go ahead and solve each of these. And so m is either going to equal 0 or m would equal -5/3. Okay? Then let's look at number 17 as well. For number 17, when we're graphing absolute value, remember it's going to make that V shape. To help me, I'm just going to make a table. So I'm going to start at -2. Go a little while so I can get that full shape. So I'm going to plug -2 into this rule. So -2 minus 3 plus 2. So that would be the absolute value of -5 plus 2. Absolute value of -5 is 5, plus 2 is 7. Then I'm going to continue the process. -1 minus 3 is -4. Absolute value of -4 is 4, plus 2 is 6. 0 minus 3 is -3. Absolute value of -3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. 1 minus 3 is -2. Absolute value of -2 is 2, plus 2 is 4. And then I can continue on. 2 2 minus 3 is -1, plus 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0, plus 2, that would be 2. Then we can move on to 4. 4 minus 3 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2, plus 2 is 4. 6 minus 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. All right, that first one doesn't fit on. -1 is at 6, 0 is at 5, 1 is at 4, 2 is at 3, 3 is at 2, 4 is at 3. Notice I'm getting that V shape. So when you're graphing these other ones, if you're not finding the V, then you might need to put more values in your table.